Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 5 of this Let's Play Hearts of Iron with Poland, again, for our freedom and yours. In the last episode, if you haven't watched it yet, I would fully recommend you go and watch it so you understand what the hell is going on here. Otherwise, spoilers. I'll give you a minute to switch. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you have watched the last episode, and as you all know, we got absolutely, horribly, unbelievably, dramatically, madly stomped, and I mean ruffle stomped by Germany. It wasn't even a contest. We were that bad. And of course, the Soviet Union declared war like a month after Germany, so we were just squished. And Danzig fell so quickly, like a day, 2 days, that we had absolutely no opportunity to actually make an escape and rejoin the war elsewhere. So we had to restart, which is kind of unfortunate because I really did like the fact that the Allies were at war with the Soviets, the Allies were at war with the fascists, and because this is historical setting, the fascists would very likely have gone to war with the Soviets, so it would have been a three-way war, which would have been fantastic. So I still kind of hope that happens in this, although it will be really, really bad for us, so maybe not immediately, but we are going to do much the same. I have been thinking a bit about why I think we lost. And in my mind, it's because we switched to artillery. That was not a great idea. The artillery was just too expensive. We invested far too much time and energy in trying to build up those infantry divisions, and we weakened them by removing infantry companies and adding artillery instead. So if we look at this, I think we had a group which looked something, like this. No. It was that strong, and this is just far too much artillery and too little infantry, so we're not going to do that. Instead, I think we will keep with mostly infantry, in fact maybe entirely infantry, something like that. So we have combat width 20, we'll get the entrenchment and then we'll build up that way. Or, and this has only just occurred to me, we could add a tank division. You know what, I kind of like that idea. Because Polish tanks were actually pretty good for this era. I mean, one of the things that the Poles actually had, which surprised others, were the tanks. The Czechs actually had more, but yeah. And Poland, having actually been there, it is ridiculously flat. Like, this area is just completely flat. Yes, there are a few woods, but tanks roll through woods, that's not a problem. Down here, obviously, a bit more forested. So maybe going tanks is a better option. The other thing is I think I started building up our defences way too late. So I think in 37, potentially, I'm going to start building the frontline defences, which will mean that our industry will suffer, but I think that's pretty much what we need to do. So we're going to not bother with those. Do we want to build tanks or not? Well, we don't want the Great War tanks, that's for sure. I think right now we just invest fully in infantry weapons, and yes, we will need to buy some steel from probably France. In here. Steel, France, buy, go. And that'll make up some of that deficit. We do need to build up industry still, and definitely military. We just don't have the time for the civil stuff. So we'll try and build those up. And like I said, in 37, we're going to start building this front line of defences here. If the Soviets declare war on us, then we're basically just going to abandon this front and make a run for the UK, and then we'll try and fight on from there. Hopefully we can do some amphibious landings here and then try and retake some of Poland and then get our factories and things back, but we'll see what happens when it comes to that. We are going to go more or less the same route down here. I quite liked having the additional technology. We are going to continue to draw closer to Britain to try and join the Allies straight off. And I'd really like some more of these factories. You know what? Because we're not getting aircraft or ships, maybe we don't need that additional research slot. Because I was kind of scrambling for stuff to research previously. So maybe we just get the industry. So we go for these. And then Defence Fund, invest in the old Polish region. And the other one that we definitely want is Polish militarization, because that gives you the recruitable population 2.5, which is huge. So maybe we do want this central region industry. Well, it doesn't really matter which one we take first. That's a civilian factory. That's also a civilian factory. Military factory, infrastructure, military factory, infrastructure. And there's another military factory. So I think we're going to go with the central region strategy first. And we will start doing some research of the usual suspects. And maybe I'm going to go concentrated industry, because if we get bombed, we get bombed. There's not much I can do about it. But no, because I'm right in the middle. We kind of need to have dispersed. And we definitely want convoys, so we can actually make a run for it if it should come to that. We're still really short on... Oh, it's probably because I haven't ticked over yet. Alright, fair enough. Okay. The other thing, which I remember from the previous game, was our cavalry regiments were absolutely unequivocally and completely freaking useless. So we're going to switch all of our cavalry divisions to be infantry. And the way that we're going to do that is... What's the quickest way? Organize by type. We'll just stick them all in one army, just because it's easier to organize. And then we click on here, and we say what they're switched to. So this will cost a bunch more manpower, a bunch more infantry, and a bit more support. And yes, I want all of these switched to infantry, because those cavalry were rubbish. We're still going to have to fight hard for Prussia, and we still absolutely have to hold Danzig. Like, Danzig is going to probably get its own garrison. That's how important it is. We could actually have a couple more mountain divisions to help holding the mountains in the south. It's not a bad shout. We'll have a couple of those. Okay. Can I close all of these in a hurry? No. Okay, so that army is done. We could actually cancel that one. Okay, right, so you lot, congratulations, except for you, are the German side. And your front is, oddly enough, here. You lot, except for you, and you, are going to be the Danzig group, or the Prussia group, sorry. I'll probably need to increase you. In fact, if I build some dedicated tank divisions, I could probably add them to the Prussia group and just squish this as soon as possible. So if I do get proper dedicated tanks, I might well do that there. And then, I guess, you two will be the Soviet group with your front line over there. And then, we still organised by type? Yes, we are. You lot are the Southern Army, which will be here. And what does that leave? It's organised by army. Check through here, and we just have a couple of divisions, which we will probably throw into the Prussia group. Not that it really matters. Right, so Germany group, you are obviously the main defenders. We have a panzer guy. Did we have a panzer guy before? We may have. But yeah, we definitely want the max entrenchment. That's you. Congratulations. Prussia. Prussia can probably be panzer guy, because that needs to fall like fast. Combat width, planning, reconnaissance. In fact, planning, you would be better with the planning guy. Soviets, you know, combat width, doesn't really matter. And then you can have reconnaissance, because that should help on the defensive. Okay. And that should be everyone assigned now, right? Yes. That's all of that done. We do have low manpower. Fine, not much I can do about that. We have a national focus going. Let's go. just get everyone into position. Oh yeah, we can get rid of the air troops. It'll free up some more manpower actually. And here, about 1,500 or so probably. Okay, go. The other thing that we need to do is have all of you lot training. Like so. Yeah, that looks good. As we get more factories up and running, we can get some more weapons. And yeah, we have a huge weapons deficit because we just switched up all of our cavalry into infantry. So we have a lot more divisions now that actually need guns. That's fine. That's totally acceptable and expected and awesome. Was there a national thing over here which I really wanted? Yeah, it was this one. So we want this one by 37. So maybe we should go for that one and then that one next. In fact, strengthening the Polish state is a very strong one. But I wanted the bonus to research so that when this is completed, we can go straight into dispersed. Because that is an industry tech and it will go more quickly. And that will be lovely. And manpower is going to be an issue. Hopefully this game goes a bit better than the last one. I still can hardly believe just how badly that went. We lasted for one episode. One whole freaking episode. If that. Right, let's get the strengthened Polish state and then the construction speed. In fact, do we want that? Well, we can't switch now. We want the political power so then we can start getting some tweaks. And then we can probably actually get expansion of the new towns. So we get that extra civilian factory for a bit more build speed. Man, that was quick. The fascists do seem to have got a bit of a boost. Like every time that I see Japan fighting against China now, Japan always wins. Like within a year. What are we actually short on? Aluminium and steel only up by 1. Fine, whatever. Don't care. Oh, we could change our... No, we want the industrial guy. We're industrialists, that's who we want. There's mechanical engineering. Let's have a bit more research time then. Right, we are generating experience from the training that we're doing. Oops. We are going through manpower pretty quickly. Does free market change the construction speed or just... Oh, it changes factory output. Okay, that is important. And research time, which is also important, especially if we're not going for the extra research slot. Right, so there's the political power. It's still only May, so I think we go back for the industrial stuff. So we'll get the expansion of the new towns. And we can modify the government. So I think we are going to go for the free trade. We don't really lose anything by doing this, and we gain a whole bunch of construction speed and factory output and the research time. So I think that's a good first one to go with. And then we'll probably go for the war industrialist. Because that's increased speed of 10%. This one was increased speed of 15%. And the other stuff too. So it's just a better choice. Spanish Civil War. Basic machine tools. So we've already got the 50% bonus, so we could actually go straight for this one. No. We're going to go for dispersed industry. I mean, obviously we'll try and hold the line if we can. I'm just not entirely convinced that we can. And the other thing I realized that we were not building at all in the previous game was motorized. So we had a whole bunch of field hospitals, for example, which were just completely unsupplied. Maybe we do want tanks. Oh, it's 2 technologies though. It's a pain to get to. I think we're just going to go with infantry for the time being. Tanks would be nice, but they're not vital. So there is a focus, which allows us to get tanks more quickly. That one. 75% research bonus for motorized. Right, because we don't actually start with motorized. Which is why we couldn't get these support guys. How's the construction going? It's going. Oh wow, we have massive shortages again. We have to spend another thing. Yeah, needed 9. What? I thought we were buying one. Delivered 0. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm sure I had that selected. Still 9 short. What the hell's going on? Is this screen just not refreshing? Imported 8. Imported 16. That's aluminium, that's why. Steel. Damn it. No, we're not going to order in that much. Just that. Okay, that makes sense. What tech was that? I'm going to guess it was construction. Still 36. Although that one is nice. I think we need to go for support weapons. Or tanks. Like, do we want tanks? That is the question. Tanks would really help in Prussia. Like, would really, really help in Prussia. But we do have to build them. And we don't have much industry. And we're not going to have much industry. And doctrine's the other thing that we need to start on. We're going to stick with Grand Battle Plan. Like, we want to get to this one at least. That's like 2 years away. But for that, we kind of want... Who was it? There's a guy who increases speed of research, I thought. Oh, here we go, military theorist. We kind of want him for that. Oops. Not you. You. It's actually kind of a hard choice. I think we... support equipment? Yeah, it's kind of got to be. Do we want the tanks? Do we want to start on the doctrine? Support equipment. Expansion of new towns. Excellent. We can get the other military factory here. July 36. Maybe in 37 we... Yeah, 37 is when we start building. 38 would give us a year and a half, and I don't think that would be enough time. But then this would give us more time to get more factories up. Oh man, this is tough. Maybe I should do it in like August 37. And there's also the problem of not actually having started to research any, build any new divisions or anything like that. Huh. There's dispersed industry 1, that helps. Alright, I think we are going to start working on doctrines, or maybe the tank. You know, I think the tanks would be so helpful. Do we want heavy tanks? We could go heavy tanks, which would be basically doing the same thing as we did with France. It would be a more stationary war that way. And we don't have a Belgium that people can go through. We would need to hold like that entire line, unfortunately. Like, the light tanks would help us crush this. Undoubtedly. Heavy tanks would help us hold the entire line. Although I think it is actually going to be tank divisions that we will require, rather than adding tanks to our divisions. I think we can already get them, right? No. This is actually a really tough choice. Like a really, really tough choice. Do I want tanks? Because I'll need to start producing them soon, is why I'm kind of umming and ahhing about it now. And then it's the question, do I want the light tanks, do I want the heavy? I mean, ultimately I think I want medium, because I can play both roles. And then maybe I can just add medium tanks to the main battle lines. No, my army's going to be mostly infantry. I could get heavy tanks and then get the artillery, though they are more expensive than the regular artillery. I could get regular artillery for the support battalions rather than actual full divisions. I need something. I need something to back up my infantry. The infantry alone won't be enough. I don't think. Like, what do you add? 10 armor. 70 armor. Man, those things are hard. 6 defense, 4 defense. 90% hardness. 12 hard attacks, 70. Man, these guys would be amazing for our tanks, but they're expensive. Production cost of 8. What's the production cost of these? 25. These. Oh, SP light artillery is still only 8. That's interesting. And what about regular towed artillery then? 4. So they're double the price. I think the heavy artillery would be too expensive. How much are these? Those are 9. How much are these? Those are 12. These are still so expensive is the problem. I mean, we could add 1 division to infantry divisions, which would add up the missing 2. But we would need a whole bunch of them in reserve already. So not necessarily. How fast are they? I'm not expecting them to be very fast. Where's speed? 5. Your speed is 10. Your speed is 12. Your speed is 8. I mean, to be fair, heavy tanks aren't that much slower than medium, but mediums are half the production cost of the heavy. Hardness 80%, armor 60. I think it will be medium tanks that we need to go for, so yes, I'm going to start researching tanks. And we're going to try and get this tank and then start building those. And then in 39 we'll start researching these ones and switch from the lights to the mediums. And then maybe we can use the lights that we have in stockpiles to create actual tank divisions. I like that idea. Okay, how are we doing on the training? Still going, still going, still going, still going. Okay. And we do have quite a lot of army experience. Do we have engineers? We do. We need to start adding those to the armies. Edit, add, engineer company, save. That's going to require a whole bunch more support equipment now. So we're going to stay at that and then go to that. Start industrial region. Excellent, that's more industry. It is now October. I don't think we really need the infrastructure. Although we need both to get this, which is the additional military factory, which would be nice. We get this, which is the cheaper construction, which will then allow us to build the defenses more quickly. I think we'll do that. Oh, I'm so nervous about this game now, having seen how the previous one went. This is actually kind of madness. I think I might give engineer divisions to the Alpine troops as well. Which will require even more supplies. What are we short on now? 5 steel, 2 aluminium. Yeah, we need to buy some more steel. Which is irritating. It's very irritating. It's using up civilian factories I can hardly afford. $92,000. We're going to go with a smaller army. I think part of the problem was that we were trying to churn out too many troops too quickly. And so we had massive manpower issues. And probably half of our armies were under-manpowered. Plus the fact that we had no manpower to actually build new factories and the like, which didn't help. Although to mitigate that, we know that we can get the Polish militarism tech. 4-year plan. And we are going to go and get the National Defence Fund. We're going to get the National Defence Fund. I think we're going to get these two, that one, 3, and then we're going to switch to defensive focus, militarism, and then we'll go down the British line. Anti-Comintern Pact. Germany proposes that we sign a pact recognizing the aim of the Communist International, known as Comintern, is to disintegrate and subdue existing states by all means at its command, convinced that the toleration of interference by the Communist International in the internal affairs of the nations not only endangers their international peace and social well-being, but it is also a menace to the peace of the world, desirous of cooperating in the defense against communist subversive activities. So this is Germany dislikes us more. This one is the Soviets dislike us more, but the Germans like us more. I think I'd rather have the Germans dislike us and have the Soviets like us, because then that reduces the chance of them declaring war on me, which would be nice. 2 technologies in one go. Cool. It is very close to being time for this, so we're just going to wait. Because you can store up to a month of research without any losses, and we can modify our government once again. At this point, I was going to say that we'd probably go for the war industrialist, but we're actually going to be switching away from military factories soon. We can't mobilize at all. We could potentially go for the military theorist, wherever he was. That dude. For the land doctrine, you know, yeah, I think that's good. Good plan. Good plan. 31st of January. Right, so we can get the new industrial things, which we definitely need. It is now 37. We're going to get for the construction speed and the production efficiency cap, because we're not actually going to be building many more factories for the time being. We are more or less at our cap. And I am still extremely nervous. You are still training, so are you, so are you, so are you. Sorry, you're not. You can stop training. So can you. Stop wasting my materials. We have a few of them. Few enough of them as it is. How's the construction going? So we have built 3 military factories in the interim, with our 7 civilian factories that are still used in production. February 37. Like, we can lay out where we want our land forts. Where are we going to hold? We need to hold this. In fact, we don't need to hold that. We just need to hold this and this. And then I'm kind of tempted to say just go behind the river. It's a shorter line if we hold this, this, and this, and we've already got 1 fort here. I just prefer defending behind rivers where I can. Like, this river is a great spot. I can just hold behind there, no problem. So maybe something like this. Why have we got forts here? Oh, Krakow is big. That's both urban. Okay. So it would be something like that would be our front line. maybe that. I think that would be our front line. I do like going behind the rivers, but I just don't see how I can do that without losing Poznan. I mean, theoretically, I could do that. You know what? I think that's a bit better. It'd be a bit more condensed. And then we hold Krakow. And then we reduce each of these by 7. Yes, I know one of those is going to be a level 4 rather than a level 3, but that will do for the time being. How long will it take? No factories assigned. Yes, I know that, but what's the cost? Cost is 1,300 versus a factory which is 3,600, so it'll be roughly a third quicker. Sorry, 1/3 of the cost. And I'll rearrange the armies when it's actually time to do that. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I am really nervous about this. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be a challenge. Yeah, I did mean to stop there. Let me just sort this out. What did I just get? Oh, was it? No. I think it was that one, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it's time for us to go for defensive focus so that we can get the increased construction speed. Right, I'm going to keep going until we've got that national focus, and then I'm going to cancel these. In fact, I'm just going to cancel that one right now. I'll probably reduce that one to 1. And then we can start working on these once we've actually got that national focus. Oh, we have a free military factory. Interesting. Keep making me more guns. In fact, no, give us more support. Do we need motorized? Support infantry. No, we don't. Not until we get hospitals, at least. And logistics companies. Okay. I would really like to start working on the doctrine as well. I think we kind of need to. No. Industry. It's more output. And we'll switch that one to the other tank, which will give us the ability to make those tanks. And then we'll start production on those. Then once these machine tools are done, then we'll switch that to the doctrine. And we should probably be fine. Oh, so many things to kind of keep tabs on. I've got this strategy and I'm just worried if I stop playing now, I'm going to forget what that strategy was. And there's nothing worse than being a bit wishy-washy. So once we have defense focus, we then go for militarism and then liberalism. And then draw closer to Britain. And hopefully it's not too late by then. Defensive focus. This will be a very big boost on our construction speeds. Oh, it's military factory construction speed as well. I had not realised that. I would have got that way sooner. Oh well. Oh, we have to get internationalism first. I think we need the militarism, and then internationalism, then liberalism, then closer to Britain. And we are definitely on this now. Hindenburg. Okay, that's improved machine tools, which is going to switch to doctrine. I don't think the Soviets have started their Pearl. What was I just about to say? What are the Germans doing? Treaty with the USSR. That's Molotov-Ribbentrop. That is unfortunate, because that's them partitioning me. Are you still training? You are. Are you still training? You are. There, we can get the armored division now. Combat width 12. We could do with a couple of these to go after Prussia. More military factories. In fact, no. Do that. Does that mean you finished? You have. Okay, so when is this complete? June 37. Oh, they take about a month each. 3, 6, 9, 12. That's a year already. Well, that is definitely the end of this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you're enjoying this series. We'll see if we can do it with Poland this time. If you have any ideas or anything for me, then do let me know in the comment section below. I'm always open to advice on how to tackle this particular situation. If you haven't done so already, please do think about subscribing to the channel. It really does help out tremendously, and, like the videos if you're enjoying this. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye.